Hi guys, I would like to help us all to reprogram our thinking by giving you a glimpse into God's Word and showing you how everyday issues He can help us with. Let's get into it. Good morning, welcome to my channel. This is another Reprogram Your Thinking video. Today I want to talk about Brother ProLife. He is one of those guys that I put into a category where we have decided to put them in a certain position. We have decided that he has something that the black community can use. And I listened to just a small snippet of a video where he was speaking on Vlad TV. What I see is a guy that has found some information and said that it's useful to the black community, with some of the things that I heard him say was very true, very important. But here's the thing. Now it has come out that he allegedly raped his girlfriend's 14-year-old daughter. Now, what I want to talk about is simply this. Well, I want to pose a question again today. People that are in certain positions and have certain worldly statuses, do we forget that they are human beings first? And let me explain why I asked that question. Because, first of all, the first thing that I heard about this guy is he has 4 wives. Okay? Now, we're all good with that. Okay, he has 4 wives. So what? Let him live his life. Why do we see things as small and not worthy of our attention, and then we have things that we just say is so hideous, it's so terrible? Now, with the allegations of him supposedly raping his girlfriend's 14-year-old daughter, do not miss the fact, and I got to say this, I would never say that it's okay that he did that. But I am saying, why is it shocking? Because it's not okay for him to have 4 wives. It's not okay for him to take 4 women on a ride, on a roller coaster ride of having to deal with many women, and you allow yourself to say, it's okay. He's a good man. I stand behind him. I have a great relationship with the other wives. And you have decided that that can be your life. And that is okay for you to have that type of life. But the sad thing is, we don't think he's capable of deciding that, hey, she has a young pretty daughter, I can bring her into my world. Because I can get out here, I can put myself in a position. Everyone starts to follow me. Everyone starts to say, oh, this lady over here, she speaks nothing but the truth. But the first time you hear something that you don't like about me, it's like it's unbelievable. You know, he speaks well. He talks a lot about, you know, what can make the black community better. He's written books. Who comes to mind? Derrick Jackson. But we don't want to accept that we put these people in positions and we put them in high esteem, and we say that they are great people, but we know nothing about them. All that we know is the public persona that we see on a regular basis, whether they're YouTube influencers, whether they're authors, whether they're Hollywood celebrities, whether they're the top musician in the world. We give them status. No, it's old news, but think about Kirk Franklin. Kirk Franklin sings for the Lord. Church people come out and say, hey, he's not singing gospel music, because he's not singing the traditional gospel music that our people grew up on. So everyone comes to his defense until he shows you that he's human. It's like he's arguing with his child on social media. That's not godly. He's human though. And by no means am I saying that it's okay. But I am saying, how do we put these people in certain positions, and then when we find out they're just like me, we're shocked. No one here is Jesus Christ. No one, no matter what worldly status they have, is God. So we can have our opinions, but how is it that their life is practically over and they don't get a second chance? Because you give them the opportunity to do that, because you give them certain status in the world, they have plenty of money, and then they become like untouchable. Until the people that we say oppress us so much is ready to say, hey, it's time to take this person down. And all it takes is for the story to circulate, and he go through the trial and tribulations of having a trial and trying to prove his innocence, and they're trying to prove that he's guilty. Once he goes through all that, now he's back on that trail of, because he's been in prison before. That's the other thing. Not saying that was his second chance, because everyone now, he's an influence. He's written books. He got money. He has influence. He speaks in different places. Everybody wants a piece of Brother ProLife. But we have to realize that some of the things are right there in our face, and we gravitate to that person even though we see things that lets us know, hey, we need to be concerned about, okay, what's really going on. He has 4 wives. 4. That's and all we can say is that's his business. That may be true. But does it make it right? Does it make it okay? As much as we talk about being cheated on, now we live in this new age where everybody's like, hey, if you already know he has 4 wives and you get involved with him and you accept this this lifestyle of living with him and his multiple wives, and you're one of his wives, and you decide, hey, I'll partake in this. It's okay. I live this polyamorous lifestyle with him. But if you have a mindset that you really don't, we've always fought to be in a relationship where a man is solely focused on us as his woman. And now we live in this new age where, he can have 4 wives. I'm okay with that. I'm cool with the other wives. I'm okay with the other wives. That right there alone should open our eyes to the fact that he's saying, I'm only listening to he's saying something that I think helps the black community. That doesn't help the black community when every woman shouldn't want to be the other woman or the second wife or the third wife. But it's okay and we accept it, and then when we come to find out he's allegedly raped his 14-year-old daughter, it's like, oh my God. I'll tell you this. We have to hold God in high esteem and not people and not man. We have to stop putting our trust in man and then getting upset when we realize he's just a man. He's a human being and he's capable of doing some things that is contrary to what we know to be right. Now, we're okay with certain things, but then, because we'll always say it when we're called out on our sin, no sin is greater than the other. You sin. Okay, true. So if you see that this guy's sin is committing a sin, just because we live in a world where the majority says it's okay, does not mean that it's okay. And I'll give you proof that it's not okay. I'll give you proof that it's not okay. Let me give you some proof that it's not okay what he's doing. I just want to read this to you right quick. Hold on a second. Let me show you that the first sign that this guy is not someone that I should be putting my trust in. Because I even prove that when we decide that we want to have more than one wife or husband, and we decide that we want to remarry. Okay, it started in Exodus 20:14. We said, "Thou shalt not commit adultery." But Jesus went as deep as to say, committing adultery was even if you lusted after another woman and you were married. But let's read. I'm gonna read Matthew 19 and verse 9. And I say to you, whoever divorces his wife, except for unchastity, and marries another, commits adultery. And he who marries a divorced woman commits adultery. So he's already in the wrong because he has 4 wives. Jesus said you can't even divorce one person and marry another if you have a living spouse. So Jesus' intention was never for us to have several people that we would say is our husband or our wife. So this guy is already, I'm giving you proof. In God's word, we could say it's man-written. We could say there's no belief in it. Some of it is it's not true. We could say all of that. But you believe in this guy and what he's telling you because you say he's trying to help the black community. I would love to help the black community, but you know what will help the black community? Getting into what I just read. So I just came today to make this video just to touch a little bit on why do we get so angry with people when we know that it's a possibility that they can do some human and make human mistakes. That we got to realize they are human and they can make human mistakes. So they are not perfect, as we always want to use as an excuse. And I'll talk about that in a later episode as far as perfection goes and what perfection means when we're speaking in the spiritual sense. But once again, let's reprogram our thinking and remember, being right does not always mean you're right with God. So let's get back to love. Peace.